In this step, we're going to have a look at Turing machines, which were hypothetical computers invented by Alan Turing in 1936. A Turing machine consists of an infinitely long tape. This tape is divided up into cells, and into each cell can be written a 1, a 0, or an empty space. Above the tape is a head that can either move left, right, and read the symbols written in the cells. The head is also capable of erasing and writing new values into the cells. The direction that the head moves, which values it erases, and which values it writes in, is dependent on a set of instructions provided to the machine. Here, the head is in state 2, and the instructions say that if it reads a 0, then erase it, write in a 1, move one cell to the right, and change your state to 5. State 5 might read, if I'm reading a 1, erase it, write in a 0, and move one cell to the left, and change the state to 7. It seems incredible, but with such a simple system, Alan Turing proved that any problem that is computable can be computed by a Turing machine. So let's build a Turing machine and see what this looks like. We've got our tape, our head, some initial instructions, and we'll place some 1s and 0s on our tape to begin with. Now the first symbol is a 0, and the instructions say that when reading a 0, it should write a 1 and move left. Moving left, it then reads a 1, which according to the instructions means it should write a 0 and move left. It then reads another 1, writes 0 and moves left, and finally reads a blank, at which point the program halts. So this Turing machine is designed to flip bits. It changes 0s to 1s and 1s to 0s. The instructions for this Turing machine only had one state, but more complex Turing machines can be built using multiple states. Let's have a look at one of these now. We start in state A with the head positioned underneath the first symbol. Looking at the instructions, we see that in state A, with a symbol of 0, there's no write and the head should move to the right, and the Turing machine should remain in state A. Next it reads a 0 and moves to the right, then reads a 1 and moves to the right again. Now it's reading a blank, which means it moves to the left, but it also changes to state B. Looking at the instructions for state B, if it's reading a 1, it erases it and writes a 0, and then moves left, staying in state B. Next it reads a 0, which means it writes a 1, moves left, and switches to state C. In state C, there are no write actions to be done. The head just keeps moving right until it eventually reaches a blank, at which point it moves left and the program halts. Now it's your turn to have a go. Get yourself a piece of paper, a pencil and an eraser, and copy out the tape, the head and the numbers as you see them on the screen. Then run the instructions 2 more times and see if you can figure out what this Turing machine does. Help each other out and share your answers in the comments section.